This is Thomas Deku from the California Golden Bears and the Atlanta Falcons, and you're watching Voice of the Box with Matt Craven.
Hello and welcome to Voice of the Box. Today I've got the pleasure of Frank Clea, and hopefully I've said your last name correctly.
You have.
Perfect, with the Atlanta Falcons. Frank, would you mind, instead of me telling everyone what your role is, maybe you could explain your title, and more importantly, how long you've been with the team and your role?
Senior Director of Media Relations with the Falcons. This is my 23rd season with the team. Basically, we help to, we're kind of the communications hub with the organization to the public, to the media. We disseminate the information out to everybody. We also are basically the liaison between the players, coaches, and front office to the media, which is in turn the public. There's a lot of things that we kind of coordinate during a normal week, whether it be setting up media interviews for the players, for the coaches, for the front office, kind of coordinate that part of it. We also do get involved a little bit in obviously the image of the team, trying to get the positive messages out there to the public and through the media. That's kind of some of the things that we're involved with.
Great. Well, what I try to do at Voice of the Box is twofold, really. One is an educational component for students to try to get an idea of some of the different jobs and opportunities and different roles that there are. I want to come back to that, but what I would like to get first is, what is a typical work week like when you've got a road game? And I know we've got a microphone check here, but we can still talk through it. What's a work week like traveling from Atlanta, obviously today, out to San Francisco? What is that typical week like for you?
Well, for us, traveling from, and generally what it is in the NFL, when you've got a team on the East Coast traveling to the West Coast, you'll come in on Friday. So it is a shorter work week for us. We basically will come in and do our normal thing. Kind of after a Sunday game, we'll work out. Players will work out, get a short workout in, have meetings. Tuesdays generally players' day off, and then we've got to basically try to get a normal weekend, because we'll work Wednesday and Thursday. Team travels, still practice on Friday, travel in the afternoon. And what we did this week, we actually stayed in Palo Alto and went over to Stanford and worked out on Saturday morning, kind of trying to stick to the same routine as you can, do the normal things that you do. For us, basically we're in charge of the coaches' press conferences, making sure the media, with taking care of as far as their interview requests during the week. We do a production meeting with the Fox crew or whoever's doing the telecasting of the network.
Okay. We
actually did that because of the arrangements of the travel. We actually did a conference call on Thursday. And the Fox crew, Daryl Johnston, Tony Siragusa, Kenny Albert, they came over to Stanford, talked to Matt Ryan, talked to the head coach, talked to a few players, just to kind of get basically an idea of the team, what you've worked on, what you don't really kind of go into game plan. It's not specific, it's just general stuff about the team. And
so you're coordinating that piece with the players and the media.
Absolutely. Coordinating that, making sure that the players, players and the coaches get to where they need to get to, and it's kind of an informal thing, but it's very instructional for the production crew, the TV crew, to actually get to know what exactly is going on, what are the things that the team is focusing in on this week, and what things you need to work on to get better, and just kind of get a general feel for the team.
Right. 23 years, you said, correct?
Yes, sir.
Football has changed a little bit here and there, I imagine. What's it like traveling with the whole team? I'm not sure if you've ever handled that piece of it in terms of moving the players, moving the equipment. Is that any of that fall to the PR department in any way?
It doesn't. Things have changed so much. Back when I first started, I did the advance work, which you're advanced man. You set everything up, you set the hotels up, you do the walkthrough at the airport, you do the walkthrough at the stadium, those kind of things. But it is quite the changes over the years. We actually now couldn't do it this week because of the West Coast. But we actually move our equipment. We truck our equipment out on Thursday to the stadium, as opposed to bringing everything with us on the plane. That way you can get here. It's quite a bit of equipment that you have to coordinate to get to you can imagine whether you're dealing with, depending on the conditions, it could be a cold weather game, with jackets and just everything.
Well, that's the equipment department for sure.
Yeah, exactly. They have to do all that kind of stuff. But we also, like I said, back in the day, I used to do all the advancing for the first 5 years I was there, and now you've moved into where you have a logistics coordinator. You have so many more people in the organization nowadays that can actually handle those things. We're kind of stick to what we do, and that's PR and public relations and communications.
Well, you kind of hit on something, and it's kind of my last little question for you. You mentioned the organizational changes. In 23 years, you've probably seen a few things now. It may vary from team to team, I would imagine, but what kind of roles are there within the PR department and media relations department. This is the kind of to give students the perspective of, hey, these are some other opportunities and other roles maybe to think about as they move into a career in sports.
Absolutely. I can't tell you how much it means to actually to get involved early as you can at the college level. For us, when we're looking for potential people for new hires and whatnot, we look at what they've done in college, not just their degree, but basically what practical experience do you have?
Right.
Basically, sports information office. If you've worked at a sports information office and you want to go into PR, or there's also event marketing in the National Football League that puts on events. There's general marketing. All these can be found at the university through the athletic department. And that's really where you need to get the practical experience. And I can't emphasize that enough. That's really what you should do to try to get the experience. And granted, college is a time for you're trying to figure out what your degree is and where you want to go into, but go ahead and dive into it, whether it's working at the newspaper at the school, the college radio station, whatever it is, to kind of get your feet wet to see what you want to do, but also kind of go through the athletic department. There's so many different opportunities to work there and to get the experience. If you don't like one thing, whether it's sports information, which is PR and what we do, go to event marketing, do community relations. There's all kinds of different opportunities had there that they're just looking for volunteers and for student assistants to do that.
Yes or no answers, or maybe not yes or no, but quick gut reaction answers. Nicest facility that you've worked in, NFL only. What?
Nicest facility, or are you talking about an actual stadium?
Actual stadium.
I'll tell you what, it's not really a yes or no answer because there's so many. We're actually looking at
top two.
Top two? Well, there's been basically, which is kind of amazing, there have been 19 different stadiums since our stadium opened, the Georgia Dome, in 1992. So there's been a lot of changeover. I'm curious to see the Dallas facility this year. We go to play Dallas here this year to see what that gargantuan building is like. But I tell you what, we just went to New England. Gillette Stadium is outstanding. And I'm kind of even though we play in a dome, I like the place here, Candlestick, the outdoor facility. Right. Carolina Panthers have a beautiful stadium, an outdoor facility. So those be a couple that I like to visit.
I lied, Frank. I thought that was going to be my last question. Now it's going to be my last question. 23 years. What keeps you coming back every year? There's got to be something that still gives you that drive and enjoyment. What is that?
It's just if you have the passion for working in the National Football League, it's just the game day experience, everything leading up to the game day, and then you play the game. There's just something that's unique about the National Football League. That I still have the passion for it, still have the energy for it, still love doing what I'm doing. I don't feel like I've ever actually come to work every day. You know, it's a great lifestyle. It's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of hours, but on game day, after a big win, it's all worthwhile.
Frank Clea with the Atlanta Falcons. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
And taking some time right here on Voice of the Box.